Good morning. It's Sunday, the 4th of November 2018. Welcome to this morning's United Kingdom tour, coming to you from Television Centre, the Mirable studio here in Bracknell, Berkshire, boys and girls, the day before Guy Fawkes night. Yes, and we've already had the fireworks. We already had the fireworks on my drive into work last night, and there was an awful lot of fireworks going off, bangs and bits and pieces going off. It's beautiful. Oh, you know, sometimes when it's right in front of you, say you're on, what do I drive in last night? M3, M25, M4. So M4, that was it. M4, as you come into London, you see all the beautiful things going off above you and all that. And I got to work. We had a nice night at work last night. I was hosting. I host Saturday nights at Central Station. It's not really DJing. It's like playing a few records and talking a bit and working sound and lights for the entertainment. Who last night was Dave Lynn, and what a great night! And he brought his entire family down as well. There was his brother and other various members, and we had a really good night in there last night. Really good indeed. And while I was waiting for him to come on, I have my Facebook thing up on in front of me while I'm doing some DJing. No, I don't. Some people make that a secret. Yeah. No. Oh no, I'm DJing. Oh, I would never have Facebook on. I've got it all on here. I've got the Facebook on. I've got the Twitter going. I'm on the phone. I'm looking at news stories, and sometimes I even find time to play a record to the people who have come to see us. Yes. So I'm looking at that, and there they are. The moaners are out all last night when, oh, why don't they ban the fireworks? Oh, it's so noisy. Oh, people are getting hurt with the fireworks. We must stop the fireworks. Oh, my cat keeps jumping. Oh, my dog doesn't like it. We'll keep them indoors then and close the bloody curtains. Honestly, these kids want to have a little bit of fun now and again in their little lives. Stop moaning, or don't they moan? I'm so glad I'm not a moaner. You've never heard me moan, have you? Never in 1,000 years. They moan and they moan. Oh, my mouse. My mouse keeps running under the chair because the fireworks are frightening them. Oh, diddums. Sad, stupid people who do nothing but moan. And they're all on, well, you would think the world had ended last night. There I was, twittering away. You must join me on Twitter. Now, I have to tell you, okay? Now, when I'm doing this little show, I do kind of clean myself up a little bit. Do you understand what I mean by that? Vocally. I clean myself up a little bit. On Twitter, I'm not clean. Okay? I am in the raw, so to speak. And I speak my mind on there. And I do like to make humorous comments I have a dark sense of humour. Much darker than you think it is. I have a very, very dark sense of humour. And I often put comments on that on Twitter news feeds, which some people like and some people don't like. Do you know what? I don't bother with the people who don't like it. When they comment like negatively, I just block them straight away. Can't be bothered with them anymore. I can't be bothered with stupid people with no sense of humour. I'm sorry, I can't. You've got to laugh at life, because it ain't laughing at you, mate. We'll be lucky if we're here next week. We'll either be disappearing under a sea of plastic, or the sun will explode, or Trump and Putin will have a big row and someone will push that button, or the Saudis will get really fed up with everyone else, or Iran, or someone like that. You know, we'll be lucky to be here next week, so I suggest you make the best of it and stop moaning at everything. Was it the vegans this week? They were moaning like hell this week, the vegans, weren't they? Oh, Christ. I'm all for vegans. I would like to be vegan. I would like to have nothing to do with animals. I'm almost there, but not quite. Of course, if it was like one of those very hard left-wing vegans who heard me say that, I am almost a vegan. Well, you're not a vegan. You either are, you're not. You know, what do you mean you are nearly? You are nearly. That's like saying, I don't know, you nearly won the race. You nearly won the 100 metres race at school. Did you win it? Or didn't you? You know, it'd be like that. I am almost a vegan. I have soya milk, but I do like a tiny little bit of cheese now when I go, oh, and yoghurt, dear. We love, which reminds me, I've got to go to Aldi and get some fat-free yoghurt shortly. But there we are. Anyway, so you would think the end of the world was last night. Why? Because the sound went wrong on the X Factor. Oh, you've never seen anything like it on Twitter and Facebook And they decided that it was, most people decided it was because there was a particular singer on the television and that the X Factor people had sabotaged, I quote, sabotaged the show so that they wouldn't win. They don't need to sabotage the show, sunshine. It's all fixed anyway. I'm convinced that the X Factor winner is decided way before anyone picks up the phone and sends Simon Cowell another 85 pence or whatever it costs to ring that. It's not free. You don't think it's free, do you? To ring the X Factor? Oh, that shocked you, isn't it? What do you think you're sitting there at home dialing that number 200 times and it's all free? I don't think so, sunshine. No, it's costing you a fortune to put a little few more pence in Simon Cowell's fat old pockets. Because he needs to do his face again. It's falling apart. Why do people do that to their faces? Oh, well, so the sound went wrong and everyone was sounding like a Dalek. It was sounding like a Dalek. So the singing was going on, okay? And there was a particular person singing. I haven't been following the X Factor, so I don't know the name of this person. He looks sort of middle-aged type person. And the sound went wrong, but the wrong sound continued into when the judges were saying their bits. So it was nothing to do with him, but people were convinced that the TV company had sabotaged the show, you know, and that's why the sound was bad. No, there was a technical fault. It happens. Get real. Get over it. They're in meltdown on Twitter. In absolute meltdown. Oh my God, X Factor has all gone wrong. What am I going to do with my sad, lonely, pathetic life now? Oh, find something interesting to do. Preferably not tweeting about your pathetic life. God's sake, man, you've never seen anything like it. It's pathetic. It really is pathetic. So that was the X Factor last night. And apparently all the voting was cancelled or something. And they're going to do it all again tonight. I don't know. I don't know if that's actually available on the ITV... Would you call that thing? The ITV iPlayer or whatever that thing's called that ITV have, which is not very good. I don't know why, but certainly on FreeSat, the ITV iPlayer is not very good at all. The quality of the picture is nothing like the BBC iPlayer. It's a bit odd that, but there we are. People moaning as always. Let's say hello to some of you now. I'm testing something today. Right, I've got this really old. It's not an iPad. It's what do you call it? If it's not an iPad, it's not a laptop. It's a tablet. A tablet, right? Okay, I have a tablet here, so I'm testing this today because this is. Oh, it's all gone blank. I just touched it and it all went blank. Oh well, that's not going to work, is it? Ah! That was full of messages a minute ago. How comes that all went blank? Oh, well, maybe that won't be such a good idea after all. Ah! It's gone blank. That was full of messages a minute ago. Oh, dear. I wonder what happened if I push the back button. Log in. Well, log in. So I'll try logging in and see. No, that's not right, is it? Oh, gold. Hang on a minute. Let me try. That's disappointing, isn't it? I thought I'd found a use to this at last, but maybe not. Now, oh, just one minute. Gold. Log in. I can't give you my login details. I've only got one password, and if I gave you that, now I would have to come around and kill you because it's the same for everything else. I don't know how people are supposed to remember all these different passwords. I know you can get this password manager or bank or something like that thing from various different people. And by putting one password in, it works all the others. But then again, you might as well just have the same password for everything, mightn't you? Because if look, it's come back. The messages have come back. Oh, yes. One moment, please. Now, let's see if I can work this now. Right, so I've got... Oh, it doesn't start... 11:17, so that's 17 minutes I didn't get the messages. Okay, well, I'll try and get on with that. Fortunately, I kept my messages on the screen in front of me so that if it didn't work, it would still be working. So they're there. Good morning to first message of the day goes to young Chris, who's at work, bored to tears this morning. He's absolutely bored to tears this morning, aren't you, Chris? Morning, Chris. Welcome to the show. Diane Jebb. Good morning, lovely Diane. Peter Hydes is there. Good morning, Peter. Well, these are all on Facebook Live. Jeff Phillips, a very good morning to you. Over on YouTube is John Parrish. Back to Facebook, Delwar. Back to YouTube, Weird City Citizen. Firdahar is in Indonesia this morning. A very good morning to you. Double theme Sunday. You could call it a double theme Sunday. It was more news stories than that, dear. We don't just do 2 news stories. That's it. Hello to Mariam Miram. Morning. Is that right? Mariam Miram? I think it's Mariam Miram. Good morning to you. Let's have a look. Guccio, hello to you. John Parrish is there. Potty mouth. Yeah, potty mouth people. Potty mouth. That's that. What, me? Potty mouth, not an ear, dear. Never will you hear my potty mouth on here. Morning to Aman. John Parrish, did you put your shirt collar right? I don't know. I haven't looked, mate. Don't bother me, John. If you want to worry about that, you feel free to worry about it. I'm not going to worry. Sullivan Patrick, why don't you get vegan cheese, dear? I have tried vegan cheese. Correct, Sullivan. I have tried vegan cheese. There is some really awful vegan cheese out there. I mean, there is. Some of it's absolutely vile. You've got to find the right one. I can highly recommend to you Violite, which I think you can get at Sainsbury's, that one. Violite. That's not bad. What was that? Well, it's my calendar going around. That's not bad at all. Violite from Sainsbury's. But be careful with vegan trees. You'll have to try a few different brands until you find the one you like. And it's the same with the soya milk as well. Watch out for that. Alpro were the leaders in soya milk, and I used to have their one. And then about a year ago, a bit more than a year, they put a taste in it. And it tasted completely vile and horrible after that. But if you get the supermarket own brand, unsweetened soya milk, you should find that sort. That's not bad at all. Either Waitrose, Sainsbury's, Aldi do one, 59 pence in Aldi. And everywhere else it's £1. Aldi, Sainsbury's, they all do their own unbranded soya milk. But Outpro, as I say, they put a taste in theirs about a year ago, and it completely changed it. It was horrible. Awful stuff. Good morning to Danny Adams, who's in the USA. Good morning to you. Morning to Urban. What is he talking about? Well, if you'd have been listening, you'd know. So do carry on listening. Morning to Roy Brownlow. Morning to you. Manolo calendar's still wonky. Yes, indeed it is. Correct. Over on... Let's have a look. One moment, please. Let's have a look here. Over on... there we are. Periscope. There we are. Periscope in Latvia. Fireworks have been banned since 2009. To celebrate, we have squirrel and carrot soup. Well, that's one way to deal with the squirrels. I do hate squirrels. I had them invade the loft a few years ago. They are an absolute nightmare to get rid of, squirrels. If you set a trap, okay, your cat or whatever method you use, you'll only catch one squirrel by that method. Because once you've got that one, okay, the other squirrels can see how you've got that one, and you won't get another one by that method. So I think I had to use 3 different methods in the end. I had a squirrel bloke come round and he put a trap upstairs. One got caught in the trap, one on a sticky board. I think the other one was shot. I can't remember now. But they're horrible things, squirrels. They get in your loft. You've got to get them out. They do terrible damage. And if you look up about squirrels, if you look up on the internet, certainly here in the UK, about squirrels, if you catch one, you are not allowed to release it. That's a grey one, not a red one. A grey one. You're not allowed to release them. You have to, awful. Let's have a look. Ant says, the fault was for 3 of the songs. It lasted for 10 minutes. Yes, it was. Indeed it was. So people saying it was directed towards a particular singer. No, it wasn't. It's just one of those things. Sometimes things go wrong. And it surprises me how upset and irate people get about little things. It's a little thing. A little thing goes wrong like that and they're up in arms. It's like their life has ended. I don't know. Good morning to Maureen, who texted us in. Good morning, Maureen. I heard you weren't too well on Friday, so I hope you're better now. I shall save your small gift. I've got a small gift for Maureen who turns up at the karaoke. All right. Sullivan says, what are your views on Philip Green? Who's he? I don't know who's Philip Green. Is he the bloke who owns all those shops? I don't know. Don't know. We try and keep it sort of fairly light-hearted on the show, my darling. All right? So I don't know who Philip Green is. Is he that bloke who owns Sports Direct or something like that? Don't know. Not really interested. Thank you very much. So yesterday, coming home, as you know, I spend half of my week in Lincolnshire now. On the way home, petrol prices. So I have discovered the cheapest place for me to buy petrol is at Asda in... Is it Aldi? No, Asda. It's Asda, isn't it? Is it Asda? It's Asda in Skegness. Total price, I paid on Thursday when we were up at Skegness, £1.24.9. That's not bad. 124.9. The average seems to be about 131, 132.9 at the moment. So I was pleased with my 124.9 that I paid there. On the way home, and I don't know how on earth they get away with it, you must be absolutely desperate to fill up at the, I think is it a BP? I'm sure it's a BP. The BP on the M1, okay, between, I think it's the A421 and London. The BP garage there, when I went past there yesterday, is charging 152.9 a litre. That's for the petrol. The diesel, 159.9 or something very close to that. That's outrageous, isn't it? I can't believe people would go there and fill up unless they were like running on fumes or the last, that empty light has been on in your... I know why people do it, because they keep... but maybe if I go a bit further, it'll be a bit cheaper. And you can be careful, you can be caught out like that. Has that ever happened to me? I don't think it has. I don't think I have ever run out of petrol. I'm pretty sure I've never, ever run out of petrol. But people do, and I've come close to it. Oh, I've done the same thing. When you're driving along and, it's the light hasn't come on yet and you go, go past that petrol station. I think the next one will be cheaper. And then as you've gone past it, the light comes on. Do you go back? No. You try and get to the next one. And you get to the next one, the barrier's across it. Because the tanker's in there and they're filling up. For some reason, you can't go in a petrol station when the tanker's filling up, can you? Or at least they can't up the one up the road there. 159.9. That's an absolute outrage what they're charging now, isn't it, eh? Don't you think? It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. So that was the petrol. Don't watch out for that. The BP. And I saw another one last night, actually. Where was that? I think that might have been on the M4, although I don't think it was near that price. 152.9 on petrol at the BP garage coming towards London on the M1 near London, okay? Be warned of that one. So that was last night on the way home. We had a nice karaoke on Friday night. It wasn't mega busy. It was busy, but not mega busy on Friday, so that was very nice. And yesterday, I think I got up about 10 o'clock in the morning yesterday. I get up late on Saturdays and late on Tuesdays because I've done long drives on those days of like 2, 3, 4 hours maybe. About 3.5. I do, on a Friday, I drive from Lincolnshire to London. That's 3.5 hours. And then I drive from London to Berkshire, which is about an hour and 20 minutes. So that's nearly 5 hours I drive on Fridays. So by the time I get to bed Friday night, that's like early Saturday morning, I get back here sort of around about 20 past 1, half past 1. Then I'll have some dinner. Really, I should just go straight to bed. But I'm hungry at that time because I generally haven't had anything since lunch at that point. Which means I get up late on a Saturday. So no show really on Saturday. Incidentally, and I know this is going to be totally and utterly devastating news to you, okay? I'm afraid I'm not going to be here tomorrow morning. I know you're devastated, aren't you? I won't be here tomorrow morning. And the reason is I've got to take my car in. It had a service last week, but this machine that they have to plug it into that does the, checks the hybrid battery, that wasn't working. So it's got to go back in tomorrow. It only take me 20 minutes. But you see, I'm only 20 minutes there, but it's like half hour, 20 minutes there, 20 minutes back, 20 minutes there, all the mucking about in between, so I won't have time to do a show tomorrow, okay? Sorry about that. I might not be... Tuesdays also, I don't usually do a show either Tuesdays, so I know that's devastating news to some of you boys and girls. I know. How are you going to get through your day without seeing me? I don't know, but please try and do your best. There must be something else of equal quality to this programme that you can watch. Perhaps an old Tom and Jerry video, you know, chitty chitty bang bang, something like that. I mean, even put a little bit of porn on. Have a little bit of porn on in the morning instead of watching me. It's probably the same sort of thing, you know. The lads on those porn videos are sort of similar shape and body and youthfulness as myself, so watch a little bit of that in the morning as well. In Latvia, apparently, it's 742 lugem for a litre of fuel, which is the same as 81 of your pence. Is that all it is? 81 pence in Latvia. I'm very popular in Latvia, no? They've got statues and shrines to me in Latvia. Did you know that? It's true. Ask this bloke here, Anne, on the Periscope there. Good morning to Ashley. Morning to you. Who's in centre... Oh, my foot. Sorry. I've got a problem with a tendon in my foot. And if I move, not just the foot, if I move my big toe in a certain way, it really hurts. The problem appears... Oh, just a minute now. The problem appears to have moved across the foot as well. Whereas it was on one side, it was on that side like a few days ago. It's moved across to that side. It's at the back, sort of just next to and below the ankle. That's where the problem is. I think I got a problem with a tendon. While I was in Vegas, I was doing an awful lot of walking out there. So I think that's probably what's caused that problem. We were doing like 10 miles a day, me and my nephew were, but never mind. It'll all sort itself out. I hope I don't have to go to the doctors. I can't be bothered to go to doctors all the time. Do you know what I mean? Ashley says he's in Centre Parks. It's his birthday tomorrow. Okay. Roy Brownlow, good morning. Won't be here 5th. He's going on top of the bomb. I'm not going on no bonfires tomorrow, thank you. Do I look like a scarecrow? Pardon? How rude you are. I don't look anything like a scarecrow. Do you remember that programme, Wurzel Gummidge? I used to love that with John Pertwee and Aunt Sally. Aunt Sally. It's a wonderful programme. Yes, thank you, Roy. You could, of course... There are, and this is absolutely true, right? There is a 10-hour video on YouTube of paint drying, which I sometimes put on when there's nothing good on the telly, which is most days, let's be honest. Well, there's a couple of good programmes on at the moment. Doctor Who tonight. I wonder what the BBC is going to try and teach us tonight. You know, it's kind of got away from its science fiction, wow, you know, unbelievable stuff to sort of little bits and pieces. We had racism was it last week we had the racism or the week before? And then we got politically correct members of the cast as well. We got a couple of, a little lesbian story going on there. all the characters are different colours. It's very politically correct now, Doctor Who, dear. Oh, yes. Where are the bloody Daleks? I think they've become Dalek-phobic. There should be a left-wing group for people who are Dalek-phobic. Where are the Daleks? We want to see the Daleks and the Cybermen. We want to see those. Good morning, Adrian Richardson. Hello to Capital Tyres. Welcome along. My beard, congratulations on keeping this up. Yeah, I like to keep it short. I don't like a long beard. I think that's horrible, long beard. Thank you very much. Hello to Kim and Glenn who are joining us this morning. Hello to Christine Enoch. Welcome along to our show there. Feel free to join in at any point. There's a text number as well up there, gang. Okay, if you ever want to text in. If you can't type on a computer, there is a texting number. 07551 259 675. All right, 07551 259 675. So eventually I managed to get out of the house sort of about 11:30 yesterday morning because I was going down the shops, and my neighbour was out the front. He likes to make things. He's very clever. I can't do anything like that. My brother-in-law's good at stuff as well like that. Martin, if he wants to do something, and I've said this before, if he wants to do something and he's not done it before, he watches a YouTube video of it and then does it. It's blooming marvellous how people can do that. Really is. He's got his own YouTube channel called Retro Store, which he's started making quite a lot of money out of it. I make no money out of this. I mean, come on. Who's going to pay to watch this crap? I know that. You haven't got to tell me. I know how bad this is. I've watched it. Believe me. But he makes quite a lot of money from his YouTube channel. He does, at the moment, I think he's doing restoring tools. So he'll go on a car boot sale or something like that and buy or be given for pennies an old tool. Like perhaps, I don't know, what can I think of? A pair of old pliers that have all rusted and got stuck together. And he will literally take apart those pliers and restore them to perfect operating conditions and moving. And he films himself doing this. And he's making a small fortune on that. Okay, I won't tell you the exact amount, but he's making in a month what I kind of make in about 2 weeks, just by making these videos. And of course, you do it all at home. I think it's wonderful. I think it's blooming so good to do that. You can do anything. A lot of blokes can do this, and girls, of course, who can do all this stuff. They can just decorate and lay carpets and put a wall up and re-roof a house and fix a car. It's just so clever how blokes can do that. I wish I could do half of that. I can't do any of it. I'm so useless. I mean, these shelves on the wall, I put these up. God knows how they're staying up. They're in plasterboard, but I haven't got the sense to go along with one of those devices and find out where the wooden beams are to put them in there. No, they're literally in the plasterboard. Now and again, I have to put them back up because the holes have got so big they've come out again. Awful. Hello to Russ Philip Vernon and welcome to the show today. All right, Russ. My neighbour, last year he made a doll's house for his granddaughter, and I think he's making another one now. And he was out there yesterday morning making this house, and of course I've just left the house. It took me an hour and a half to leave the house, and then Dave's outside, so I start talking to him, and we like to have a bit of a conversation. And I was saying to him, I've got flowers still in the garden. My dahlias are still in the garden flowering. In this way, in second week in November almost, first week in November, still got dahlias. Out the front of the house, I've got trailing geraniums, and it is covered in flowers at the moment. And then I've got, what's the thing at the top there? Apricot colour. I can't remember another flower. And nothing's dead. It's only my career. That's the only thing that's dead here, not me. Hello to Pankjat, who's in India today. Welcome along to you. No, I don't do phone calls, Pankaj. I don't do phone calls. Thanks for offering, though. So I went down the shops, popped into Ryman's. Dave, that's mine, son. Dave was outside. He's got Black & Decker. Black & Decker workmate. Do you remember how they were heavily advertised in the 70s and 80s? I had one once. I had a Black & Decker. I don't know what they thought I was going to do with it. Mum and Dad bought it. I think for either a birthday or a Christmas, I got a Black & Decker workmate. Unfortunately, I got married and it got left there. So unfortunately, number one, I got married. That's my first unfortunate thing. And the other unfortunate thing is that I literally left everything. I left everything, including a Black & Decker workmate. I saw it sometime later being used by a dad, but there you go. One of those things, isn't it? Let's have a look. So I cycled back from there, went swimming, came here, paid a couple of bills. I got two large bills of £350 each. I'm a landlord as well as a karaoke host, and I have to pay bills on things. And I've got these two flats in the same block. So whenever you get like the service and rent charge for one, you get the other one at the same time. So 2 lots of £350. What do they do with that, for Christ's sake? Is that for someone to come round and cut the grass every now and again? Outrageous what we get charged. So that was that. I had a little sleep, and as I say, went to work last night, and that was my day. Today, after I finish the show, I'll be having lunch probably very soon after I finish the show. Then I've got to go to Aldi and get some fat-free yogurts because I've run out of fat-free yogurts. And I've run out of these as well. Very important. These moistened toilet tissues. If you were with the show the other day, you will know how important it is to use these and not dry ones. Yes, it is. And I mentioned this the other day. The reason is the dry toilet, it just moves it around. It doesn't make you clean at all. We need cleansingness. We need cleanliness in that very important area. Bacteria there's mushrooms growing out of people's arseholes as they're walking along because they're not using these. Awful. Awful. And if you don't believe me, here's the thing to do. Go to a wooden floor, put some mud on the floor and rub it in with your foot, okay? Then try and first pick up the mud, damp mud, okay? Because it's got to be, sort of similar to POO. It's got to be similar to POO, right? Push in the mud into the wooden floor with your foot. Then try and clean it up with a piece of dry toilet paper and see how far you get. Nope, it'll still be there. Okay, you might get up most of it, but it won't be completely cleansed. And then, without having to put any more mud down, but the rest of the mud that's on there, use one of these moistened toilet tissues. These ones are from Aldi. I recommend you get them from Aldi. In Aldi, they're about 55 pence. Everywhere else, they're £1. If you've stuck up and right up your own arse and you must have the Andrex one, expect to pay over £1. I've seen them for £1.50, the Andrex ones. Aldi, 55 pence. Stock up! Get 10 of them. And then you'll never run out again. Now, it says flushable, but your best thing is to use them, fold them, place them in your bin, place it in or straight in the bin outside, dear. Yes, even if it's cold. Not a good idea to put them down the toilet. It does say flushable, but I happen to know the water companies really do not like you putting it down the toilet. And if you want to believe, why is that? And so, it says flushable, so we must be able to do it. Look, try this experiment. Are you ready? Pay attention now. This is science in action from United Kingdom Talk with Chris Reardon. Are you ready? Get an empty jar. Half fill it with water. Get some toilet paper in. Put it in. Put the lid on, shake it up. Within a few seconds, that toilet paper will completely disappear. Like normal toilet, but don't put the tracing paper stuff in. God knows, I hope they're not allowed to use that anymore in schools. That's blooming dangerous, that stuff. Fissures, you get fissures. Anal fissures with that stuff. Very, very dangerous, dear. All sorts of bacteria, and the mushrooms are growing even more now. Okay, that will disappear. Okay, so you've done that experiment, right? Open the jar, tip out the water, put some new water in. Then put in a so-called flushable toilet tissue. Put the lid on, shake it up. And shake, and shake, and shake. And it's still there. There's an awful lot of shaking going on today. It's like Copacabana. At the Copacabana. Okay, don't flush them. Put them in a bin or something, somewhere else. And if you've got a garden, don't chuck them over the garden into the forest either. They don't disappear. Very bad. Very important to keep clean, boys and girls. One moment, please. Let me read. There we are. Yes, Weird City Citizen agreeing with us there. We must use the moist ones to cleanse ourselves properly. We need to be cleansed. Roy, when are you and Ronnie having another date? How's he had his operation? We don't date, dear Roy. I don't go out with Ronnie at all, and he doesn't. We don't fancy each other in the slightest. That was 30 years ago when he was young and pretty, and I was beautiful. Well, I still am. But unfortunately, he has really let himself go, hasn't it? As you've seen, John. Talk about people letting themselves go. No, Roy. Not happening. Ashley's gone to have his breakfast. Enjoy your breakfast, Ash. Adrian, you must be careful using the wet wipes. They can give you thrush. Or can they? Oh, yes, that's a point, actually. Actually, that is a point. I have noticed a little bit of soreness sometimes after using one of those. Like, not immediately, the next day. So I think the idea is to use one of these and then dry with a normal piece. Would you advise that, Adrian? Can you help me on that? Dr. Adrian is in the house. Oh, 50p at home bargains. Thank you, Roy. Rotting poo in your bin. No, put it outside, not in your bin at home, for God's sake. Dear me. Isn't it awful? Good. So that's the news today, boys and girls. I've got some stories to read you today. I see in the Daily Mirror, on a slightly serious note here, this lad, I think he's 18, okay? And the story, you may remember this in the paper, a group of, I think there were 3 or 4 of them. I don't know if they were all boys or was some girls involved there at all. I can't remember the exact story. But they picked on a elderly, disabled lady. Now, I can't remember if she was blind. Actually, it might say on the story here. Let me just read you out the story as it is. In the Daily Mirror this morning, a teenage yob who humiliated a vulnerable woman by pelting her with flour and eggs. Do you remember this story? By pelting her with flour and eggs, is now too scared to leave his home. This bloke, Cohen Semple, says he is struggling to leave his house amid death threats following the sickening attack on a 49-year-old Janice Morris. This is in this morning's Daily Mirror. The teenage boy was, here we go. The teenager was among 5 boys who targeted Janice as she sat on a park bench in Suffolk in what a court heard was a despicable attack. An image showing them smiling and pointing at their cowering victim sparked widespread revulsion after being posted on Snapchat. I mean, how stupid can you be to do something like that and post a picture of it? What planet are these people on? Until this week, the boys, all aged between 15 and 17, had their identities protected because of their age. But one of them, Semple, has turned 18 last week, meaning he could now be unmasked. Speaking out yesterday, the teenager, who pleaded guilty to threatening behaviour, described how he has received death threats from strangers. He told The Sun Online, "I'm struggling to leave the house at the moment since those pictures have gone on Facebook. I've had death threats from random people." Well, why are you so surprised at that? Why are you so surprised at that, sunshine? What did you think would happen? People going to come to you in the street and say, "Oh, well done for attacking that poor disabled lady in the street." All right, it wasn't kicks and punches and things like that. I think it was flour and eggs. But still, what an awful, ghastly thing to do. And then asked, this is in the Daily Mirror, asked if he wanted to apologise for the attack in Bury St Edmunds. He reportedly said he was not ready because of the death threats sent to him online. Semple and his friends faced online abuse and direct threats from people who were sickened by the picture after it was shared online. And I was sickened by that picture as well. How you can do that to anyone, let alone, well, she wasn't, 49 is not elderly, but a disabled lady. How do you do that? Why? I don't understand why someone would want to do that. This lady didn't know what was going to happen or what the outcome was going to be. And while it was happening, she heard one of them say, "We're filming it." Just awful. Now, I don't wish anyone dead or anything like that. I really don't. Not even this boy. Death threats perhaps is a little bit much, but I'm not surprised. And if he's a little bit afraid to leave the house for a while, then perhaps that will teach him a lesson that you can't go doing that. The people. And we keep hearing stories like that. Blind people being attacked in the street. I think there was one in America a couple of weeks ago. Did you see that? A blind person attacked. People in wheelchairs attacked in the street with absolutely no way whatsoever of trying to fight back. What sort of scum there are walking around the planet now, aren't there? They really are. Just dreadful, awful people. Very upsetting picture, says Weird City Assistant. It absolutely is. And there we are. Good morning to Mominal Islam, who's watching on the Facebook Live this morning. Very good morning to you. So that's one little story there. I've got a few stories to read to you this morning. It's quite a lot in the papers today. Different subject altogether, boys and girls. This is in the Daily Mirror as well. And they got a lovely little poppy on there. Got a little poppy on the Daily Mirror. Go and buy your poppies, boys and girls. Remember, you need to support people who kept this country and many others free. Many others free. In the Daily Mirror, what do you reckon on this? Your next house, what's your house built of? Probably bricks. Some of you got cement, concrete walls, and some people, my caravan, that's metal. I've got a caravan up north, that's all metal, which I love. Love my caravan. We're trying to get the heating sorted out at the moment. I don't have central heating in there. I'm trying to do it with convector heaters and fan heaters and oil heaters. I've got like a combination. And although can't really test it now because it's warmed up again, isn't it? We've got 15 degrees here today. 15 degrees. Your next house in the Daily Mirror could be built using bricks made from human urine, according to a new study. Oh, yes. I hope they take the smell out first. Depends what you've eaten, doesn't it? Well, there's a lot of stories today about stuff that comes out of us, isn't it? Red poppy or white poppy, Roy wants to know. Red poppy. Researchers from the University of Cape Town have developed the world's first bio-brick made from human urine. Oh, yes. The bricks are made through a natural process called microbial carbonate precipitation. Well, that's one for the scientists. We don't know what that is. Do I look like a scientist? I can't do science, DIY, I can't do anything. Only talk. That's all I can do, talk. In this process, loose sand is colonised with bacteria that naturally produce an enzyme called urease. The urease breaks down in the urine while producing calcium carbonate, which cements the sand into a chosen shape. Amazingly, this whole process can take place at room temperature, which is good news for the environment and global warming. If used as a building material, clients could then choose how strong they want the bricks to be. A doctor says if a client wanted a brick stronger than a 40% limestone brick, you would allow the bacteria to make the solid stronger by growing it for longer. The longer you allow the little bacteria to make the cement, the stronger the product is going to be. We can optimise the process. So there we are. Quite a lot involved, it seems, there in actually making these bricks. You know, don't think you can go out now and buy sort of little... what are they called? You know, like they do jellies in little what are those things called? You know, if you want to make a jelly, you put it in this like shape thing and they put it in the fridge and it comes out in that shape. One of those things. Don't think you're going to get one of those in the shape of a brick. Go and have a wee in it and you know, in a few minutes later you're going to have a solid brick come out. No, there's all sorts of processes. Would you live in a wee house? A wee house. I don't think it matters, does it? Eh? I think everyone should live in caravan. I'd be very happy to live in a caravan. I would talk to my sister yesterday because at some point I will probably move up. I will move up north. Absolutely. I will move up to Lincolnshire at some point. And I'll be honest with you, I've been looking on rightmove.com. That's quite a good place to see house prices and all that. Rightmove.com. Houses up near my sister now for the last 10 years. I go on there everywhere. Oh, that one's quite nice. That one's quite nice. But you know what? I'm quite happy living in that caravan. Now, the caravan I've got is it's all right to go for a few days. I think it's probably a bit too small to live in. But, for X amount of pounds, not an enormous amount in comparison to buying a house, okay? Not even a third of that price, maybe even a quarter. I could purchase a brand new caravan, bigger than the one I've got. And what would happen then is that they come along, you buy a brand new caravan, they come along to where your caravan is, they remove that one on a lorry, and they put a new one on it. That's it. That's how it works. And I am actually now seriously considering in the future, and I don't think it's too far off, to be honest, in the future, actually doing that rather than buying a house. Just think, I could sell. I don't know if I could sell this. I could sell this, buy a caravan with a small part of the money that I sell this for. That's it. No outgoings and money in the bank. I could have a big flash car. I wouldn't want a flash car, actually. I'd like an electric car. I'd love an electric car. They're coming. Is it going to be the next one? I don't know. I've got a little bit of a problem with charging facilities. Where I am now, this house is not near the road, okay? And the only way to charge the car at the moment would be to run a cable from the house, past 3 other houses, across a bit of pavement and into the car. Well, the council ain't going to allow that, are they? Not even if I do it at night. Someone will trip over the wire and then, oh, your wire has made me trip over and I'm going to sue you. We'll have all that, wouldn't we? Because my car, it's not outside, it's parked in a garage. Now, the garage is in a block, but there's no electricity in there. So I'd have to have electric put in that if I stayed here. However, if I moved to the caravan, I don't know if it would charge from the caravan, because caravan electricity, you don't have as much electricity coming in a caravan as you do a house. For example, I don't know what the amperage is of the house, but I've only got 16 amps coming into that caravan, which means I have to watch which electrical heaters I've got on at any given time. Now, if I was plugging a car in it, I don't know what sort of amps that would draw. You see, that might not quite work. Hello to bigger lad. Is it bigger lad? Where's your friend? I haven't got a friend. I've got no friends. No friends here. Only you, bigger lad. By the time you came back, I got really ripped. Did you get ripped? What, you've been going to the gym or something? I can only dream of having a washboard stomach. My weight's a bit high at the moment. I'm 12 stone 9 at the moment. I'm having trouble getting it down. I've got to go back to Slimming World and sort that out. Do you play ground rent for the caravan? Yes, you do, Adrian. Stop it, Adrian. I do pay ground rent for the caravan, which is about 12. Last year it was $12.50, probably $1,300 this year. That's the whole year. One payment, $1,300. £1,300. It's not bad at all, is it? That includes the rubbish. They cut grass and they've got lights everywhere. Like they're kind of street lamps, but they're not. They're much higher than street lamps, and they light up the whole area. It's quite good. Morning to Michael Lawrence. Welcome to the show, Michael. Bit late, dear. So many late people today. Late people. Hello to Ken Lloyd, who's in Canada. Good morning to you, Ken. Is it? I hope it's warm there. Canada. I always imagine Canada as being a very cold place, like every day of the year. I'm sure it's not. I'm sure you have some wonderful summers there. I like countryside. I love countryside, and I know you've got a lot of wilderness in Canada. Years ago, when I was 16, I went to a place in the States called Maine, Maine, to a high adventure place where we did walking and canoeing. It was just marvellous. Wow. Although you had to watch out for bears. We had like a guide. I was in the Scouts at the time. We had this guide come with us, and he had a rifle. I'd never seen a bloke, carrying around a gun before. This bloke had a rifle in case the bears came. But apparently the bears don't come near you unless they're really hungry. Then they might try and eat you. And I don't really want to be eaten. Not yet, anyway. Not yet. John Paris, have you got another place you stream from? Yes, indeed. Lincolnshire. I'm in Berkshire today. I'm from Lincolnshire. I go to Lincolnshire as well for half the week. So we do some shows up there. Usually Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Tuesday sometimes. It depends what time I get up on Tuesday morning, because I've had a long drive on Tuesday night, you see. And I don't generally get to bed sort of Tuesday morning till about 3:30 even, as late as that. I really ought to, when I come home, I should just go straight to bed. But the thing is, I don't eat before I have lunch. And then the next meal I have is usually when I get back in, and there's like a 12-hour gap. So that's why, really. Okay. Michael Lawrence has got molds. Thank you, molds. Yeah, that's it. That's it, molds. That's right, molds. That's what we're talking about. Ken says it's chilly today in where he is in Canada. We'll wrap up warm. It's not too bad here at all today. We've got about 15 degrees centigrade here, so it's around about, 60 Fahrenheit, something like that. It's quite nice today. Moulds for jelly is what we were talking about earlier. That's right. You can't get a mould for a brick, wee in it, and make a brick 10 minutes later. It doesn't work like that. They have to do chemical things to it, which we don't understand. Did anyone ever have a chemistry set? Talking of chemistry, did you have a chemistry set? I had that. Copper sulfate, that blue stuff, and yellow stuff, and I can't remember what was in there. Little test tubes, and you'd mix things together and create a reaction. Did anyone ever make a water garden? A water garden where you got like a tank or a bowl or anything like that, and you used to put this stuff in. What was it called? Water glass? Glass water? Something like that. You put this stuff in, and then you drop in your little chemicals like copper sulfate, and it would grow. Anyone do that? Years ago I did that. We had this little thing, and we used to do that all the time. Grow little things, and I can't remember what happened. But you couldn't move it. If you moved it, it would just all fall apart. Very good. Let's have a look. Adam, a very good morning to Adam the plumber. I haven't seen you for a while, Adam. I was concerned, dear. Him and Royston are stuck in traffic on the way to IKEA. Oh, no. What are you going there for, love? IKEA. Are you buying new, dear? Get on eBay, love. Half the price. Quarter of the price on eBay. What are you buying from IKEA? Have you been to the Victorian Walthamstow for it? Makes Central Station look like a palace. No, I haven't. My very, very good friend Victoria Sponge, who is just a wonderful, wonderful, warm person. She does shows there. And I think Vera goes there. Do you know Vera? She's one of our wonderful singers that come along and sing for us all the time at the karaoke nights. Yes, indeed. Okay, let's have a look. What else have we got here? What's the time? Oh, I think it's nearly lunchtime. Okay, let's just do another couple of stories here. Anything else you want to say? Say it nice and quickly, and I'll read it out for you. And then we'll do the birthdays. I'll do today's birthdays and tomorrow's birthdays, okay? Because, and yesterday's. Oh, there's a lot of birthdays to do today. Okay, and yesterday's, because we weren't here yesterday. Look at this dodgy old character. In the Mail Online, okay? Look at this. A theatre director who was white. Now, that is significant this time. I don't always say, I think it's totally unnecessary to tell you if someone's black or white or brown or Chinese. They're just a person. However, this is significant this time, and you'll find out why. A theatre director who was white chose an African name, this is in this morning's Daily Mail, and scooped taxpayer funding for ethnic minority arts leaders despite admitting his parents and grandparents were all white. Dodgy old bastard, honestly. This bloke, Anthony Ekandayu Lennon, has worked on all black productions, and last year won a paid traineeship as a theatre practitioner of colour. Born to Irish parents but naturally darker skinned, Mr. Lennon has called himself a born-again African and said in 2012 that he had gone through the struggles of a black man. Well, how can he have done if he's white? You only go through struggles of a black man if you're black or woman. You can't do it how can you say that if you're white? Starting his career, dodgy old character, starting his career as an actor, he embraced his chosen black identity and took a middle name from an African name book as he felt his given name did not fulfill him anymore, the Sunday Times reported. Oh dear. Mr. Lennon, born in Paddington to white Irish parents, but said he was bullied as a child by people who saw him as a mixed race because of his darker skin. He said his school caretaker called him N, you know the word, and threatened to attack him with a dog. I don't believe any of it. He previously argued in a book, "Everyone on the planet is African. It's your choice whether or not you accept it." But in 1990, he stated, "My parents are white, and so are their parents, and so are their parents, and so are their parents." Oh, dear, dear me. He has since, here it comes, he has since benefited from taxpayer support to propel his career as a black Asian and minority ethnic leader in the US. He just wants the money. That's what it's all about. He wants the money. Some black actors have expressed disquiet that a supposed white man had taken funding meant for a black person. He was one of 4 people to be awarded a part of a £406,000 grant as part of a 2-year residential traineeship on an Arts Council England funded programme. One black actor said, "When I discovered his background, I thought it was unfair that a white man had taken a black person's place on a BAME scheme." The consortium that said awarded the funding said they were satisfied. Mr. Lennon was eligible because he had identified as mixed heritage over a number of years. But in 1990, he said all these people were white. Dodgy old couch. I think we should all try that, actually. I think I might ring up someone later on and say, "I've decided today to identify as a black person. Therefore, can I have some funding, please?" You can't do that. If you're black, yes. If you're white, no. That's how it is. Special funding for this group of theatre programmes and things like that. So, dodgy people. Dodgy people. Aparna Nar says, "Are you racist?" Now, what do you think? No. I'm not racist. I have had a couple of black boyfriends. Does that prove it to you? Anything else you want to know? Stupid question. There you go, then. I can provide videos. No, it doesn't matter. Adam's off to there to get some curtain poles for a friend of ours. And I shop online. Got a new kitchen from Stevenage for 250 quid. That's not bad, is it? Only 2 months old. 2 months. 250 quid for a brand new kitchen. That's how you buy kitchens. That's how Adam buys kitchens. He puts kitchens in for people. What he does is he goes on eBay. You often see an entire kitchen on eBay for a couple of, if £100, which has only been there for a while because they've decided they didn't like it. Great place to buy kitchens from eBay. Keep a look on there. All right, my darling. John Parrish says, "I used to be black, but I'm all white now." Very funny, John. Bigger lad. You know something funny? If I were to show my grandma Twitch, she would like your channel. We'll show it to her. It's all about having a little bit of a laugh on this programme, okay? We laugh at life. We laugh at life. We absolutely do. Adrian's identifying as good looking, just waiting for the paycheck. Well, it ain't coming from me. I'm not sending you any money, Adrian. Shocking. People asking for money on this programme. Alrighty, 12:05. Let's do today's birthdays, boys and girls. Oh, hang on a minute. There's a little message there. 1 second. Hello to Mark Jones, who joins us a little bit late this morning as well. Just ignore him, Weird City Citizen. Have we got one of our... We don't have one of our moderators on today, have we? Have we got one of our moderators there? Got one of our moderators on there? Feel free. You know what to do. Okay, let's do today's birthdays. Oh, we've only got 4 birthdays today. Okay, don't forget we'll do yesterday's and tomorrow's as well, because I won't be here for you tomorrow morning, I'm afraid. Happy birthday this morning to Billy Coughlin, William Coughlin. Oh, yes. Kitty Litter, you wonderful, wonderful person. Happy birthday to you today, sir. All right, I really hope you have it. It's so long since I've seen you. The last time I think I saw you was at the Two Brewers, and that's got to be about 12, 13, 14 years ago now. Love your whole thing. I love your shows, you as a person, wonderful person. Yeah, and William will tell you how it is. Same as me, we tell you how it is. Tell you how it is, okay? Happy birthday, William. Happy birthday to Lilibeth. 50 years old today, Lily. All right, darling, are you coming in for your birthday tomorrow to Central Station for the karaoke? Happy birthday tomorrow. Mark Pulley, it's his birthday today. Happy birthday. Sorry, today. Well, sorry, Lily, today. And Alison Phillips, it's her birthday today as well. So happy birthday to you, Alison. Yesterday's birthdays. Here we go. Andrew Terry's birthday yesterday. Happy birthday for yesterday, Andrew. Ian Farron. Happy birthday for yesterday. John Paul O'Hare. Happy birthday to you for yesterday. And the lovely Sam Pink is a young 36. Is that all you are, Sam? Still a baby. 36 years old yesterday for Sam Pink. And birthdays coming up tomorrow. Ashley Russell was 32 years old. It is 32 years old tomorrow. Happy birthday, Ashley. He's on holiday at the moment in Centre. I've never been to a Centre Parks. Never been to one of those. Happy birthday for you tomorrow. Anna Sparkle, same person. Samuel Walker is 22 years old tomorrow. That's on the Monday. Hello to Kristal Victoria. Also, she's 42 years old tomorrow. Guy Phillips is 56 years old tomorrow. That's Monday. Guy Fawkes Night, the 5th of November. Trevor Dowie, his birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday for tomorrow. David Sullivan, 56 tomorrow. A lot of us in our mid-50s now, aren't we? David Sullivan, 56 tomorrow. I'm 56 in February, David. Happy birthday for tomorrow. Reece Blackstock Davis Smythe for tomorrow. Stephen Fairman, 34 years old. John Rawcliffe, 48 years old. And Sam London is 34 years old tomorrow. So happy birthday to you all for tomorrow, boys and girls, okay? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Enjoy your birthdays, boys and girls. That's it for the show today. Thanks ever so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Hope to be with you. I hope to be back with you certainly on Wednesday, possibly Tuesday. It just depends what time I get up on Tuesday. I shall miss you tomorrow. I shall think about you while I'm down at Toyota place having my hybrid battery checked in. And they probably, just plug something in. Yes, everything's all right. Thank you. Goodbye. I'm thinking what a waste of time that was. Hang on a minute. Weird Citizen. Chris, why it say true in description? Okay. What's true? Description of what? I'll wait for that. I want to know what you want to know there. Why it say true in description? What description of what? What are we talking about there? You'll have to be a little bit more. Tell me a little bit more what you mean there. Perhaps is he talking about the description of the show? Let's have a look for you, my friend. Oh, it does say. I see what you mean. It does say true, doesn't it, in the description? Isn't that strange and mysterious? Yes, I just saw that. It says true there. Don't know. I might have typed that in accidentally or something like that, possibly. Done it something like that. Okay, good. There we go then. Enjoy your Sunday, boys and girls. I have loads and loads to do, include hoovering. The Hoover is coming out. There's also a layer of dust on the table downstairs I need to sort out. Not until after lunch. Have a nice Sunday. Thanks for watching and listening. Take care now. Bye-bye.